Hello, my name is Thomas Jumper, and today I will be discussing my personal virtues and how they connect to character formation and how I hope to use them as a future educator. When I think about character, I do not only think about what a person says they believe, I think about what a person consistently shows throughout their choices, attitude, and treatment of others. As a future social studies teacher and as someone who already works with students as a paraprofessional, I know that students pay attention to the way adults act. Because of that, I believe character formation begins with teachers first. The four virtues I believe I possess are service, compassion, perseverance, and curiosity. For civic virtue, I would choose service. I have always believed that teaching is a service based profession. Educators are not there just to deliver lessons, they are there to support students, families, and the school community. Service will help me create an inclusive classroom because it reminds me to look beyond myself and ask my students in what my students need in order to feel safe, welcome, and supported. For moral virtue, I would choose compassion. Compassion is important because students come into the classroom with different backgrounds, struggles, learning needs, and personalities. Some students may act out, shut down, or seem uninterested, but there is usually more going on beneath the surface. Compassion will help me respond with patience instead of judgment. It will also help me see each student as a person first, not just as a behavior, grade, or label. For performance virtue, I would choose perseverance. Teaching is not always easy, and inclusive teaching requires consistency. Some strategies may not work the first time, and some students may need repeated support before they begin to trust the classroom environment. Perseverance will help me continue working with students even when progress is slow. I will also help me model for students that growth takes effort and that mistakes are part of learning. For intellectual virtue, I would choose curiosity. As a social studies teacher, I want students to ask questions, examine evidence, and think deeply about the world around them. Curiosity will help me create an inclusive classroom because it pushes me to learn about my students' cultures, learning styles, strengths, and needs. It also helps me avoid assuming that every student learns or sees the world the same way I do. The virtues I believe are most critical in my role as an educator are compassion, humility, fairness, patience, and integrity. These connect strongly to the Christian worldview concept of Imago Dei, which teaches that every person is created in the image of God. To me, this means every student has worth, dignity, and potential before they ever complete an assignment or earn a grade. If I truly believe students are made in God's image, then my classroom should reflect that belief. I should speak to students respectfully, make room for differences, and believe that each student is capable of growth. Character formation to me means the ongoing development of a person's habits, values, choices, and virtues. It is not just learning what is right, but practicing what is right until it becomes part of who a person is. Character education research supports the idea that character is developed through modeling, practice, reflection, and the culture of the classroom or school community. In other words, students form character not only through lessons about virtues, but also through what they experience every day. One strategy I will use to foster character formation is modeling virtues consistently. For example, if I expect students to show respect, patience, and honesty, then I need to show those same qualities when I speak to them, correct behavior, and handle conflict. Students are more likely to take characters seriously when they see that their teachers lives it out as well. A second strategy I will use is classroom discussion and reflection. In social studies, there are many natural opportunities to discuss courage, justice, responsibility, citizenship, humility, and fairness. When studying historical events or figures, I can ask students questions such as what virtue was shown here or what choice could have been made differently. This allows character formation to connect naturally to the curriculum instead of feeling like a separate lesson. A third strategy I will use is cooperative learning. When students work in groups, They have to practice listening, patience, responsibility, and respect. I can intentionally assign roles, teach expectations, and have students reflect on how they contributed to the group. This helps students practice character in real classroom situations. To continue developing my own character as an educator, I would use resources such as the Canyon Center for Character Education, the Jubilee Center for Character and Virtues, professional development on inclusive education, and reflective journaling. I would also seek feedback from mentor teachers and colleagues. Reflective practice is important because it helps teachers examine whether their actions truly match their beliefs. As a future educator, I want to keep growing so that my classroom reflects the virtues I say I believe in. Thank you for listening.